Thought Reflection 0415-26 The Tower of Babel and the Loss of Consciousness. What if the story of the Tower of Babel is not a literal account of a structure built and destroyed, but a symbolic reflection of a deeper shift within humanity? Traditionally, the story is understood as a moment when human language was divided, creating confusion and separation among people. But what if that interpretation is only a myth? What if the confusion of tongues represents something internal rather than external? In this view, Babel becomes less about spoken language and more about awareness itself. It raises the possibility that there was once a form of connection among human beings that did not rely on words. A shared understanding, a kind of direct knowing, where communication was felt rather than spoken. This could be described as a form of collective awareness where meaning did not need to be translated because it was already understood. This awareness may not have been limited to human interaction, but could have extended outward, connecting humanity with the natural world and even the cosmos itself. In this state, people may have experienced themselves not as separate individuals observing the universe, but as participants within it, connected to the earth, the sky, and the stars as part of a unified field of awareness. From this perspective, the fall of Babel is not necessarily a gradual fading, but an abrupt shift. A moment where this connection was suddenly lost, and with it the ability to directly know, to share awareness, and to access a collective understanding. What once required no explanation now became unreachable, and what was once felt instantly now had to be relearned from the beginning. The loss would not only affect communication, but would also remove a sense of belonging and clarity, leaving behind uncertainty, disorientation, and the emergence of fear and anxiety, as survival instincts began to take hold. In place of that immediate knowing, language emerges as a tool, an attempt to describe what can no longer be fully felt. Language is not the cause of separation, but a response to it, a bridge built after the connection had already changed. Yet without the underlying field to unify meaning, language could not remain singular. As human groups spread across distance and geography, they would develop their own forms of communication shaped by their environment and isolation. These languages would not naturally align or merge, and over time they would become increasingly distinct, reflecting not only different words, but different ways of understanding reality itself. As this separation deepens, awareness becomes localized within the individual, and identity begins to form. No longer sharing a unified field, people begin to experience themselves as separate from one another, giving rise to the sense of self and the emergence of the ego as a necessary structure for survival. In the absence of direct connection, the mind turns toward protection, interpretation, and self-preservation, becoming the base operating system through which reality is navigated. In this sense, humanity moves from a state of direct participation, connected to each other and the cosmos, into a state of interpretation, explanation, and partial understanding. From here, the question naturally shifts. If this connection once existed, is it entirely gone, or simply out of reach? If it is still present beneath the surface, then the path forward may not be about building something new, but about remembering awareness and returning to a way of perceiving that reconnects us with each other and the cosmos itself.